What if I told you there's a place on Earth where ancient stones hold more history than entire countries? Where a single square kilometer contains holy sites for half of humanity? Where you can float effortlessly in water, walk through 10,000-year-old streets, and stand at the absolute lowest point on the planet? This is Israel and Palestine, a land no bigger than New Jersey, yet it's been fought over more than any place in human history. Destroyed, rebuilt, conquered, liberated. And through it all, it remains the spiritual heartbeat of 3 billion people. Today, we're taking you beyond the headlines, beyond the politics, into the hidden corners, ancient secrets, and breathtaking landscapes that make this one of the most extraordinary places you'll ever witness. So stick with us, because what you're about to discover will change the way you see not just the Holy Land, but the entire story of human civilization. Welcome to the Holy Land. And before we go any further, let's get one thing clear. This isn't your typical travel video. We're not here to take political sides or debate borders. We're here as travelers, as storytellers, as humans curious about one of Earth's most fascinating regions. Because regardless of your faith, your politics, or your passport, this land has stories that belong to all of us. From the ancient streets of Jerusalem to the otherworldly landscapes of the Negev Desert, from floating in the Dead Sea to exploring monasteries carved into cliffsides, from 10,000-year-old cities to cutting-edge modern metropolises. This is a journey through layers of time, where Bronze Age ruins sit beneath Roman temples, which sit beneath Byzantine churches, which sit beneath Ottoman mosques, which sit beneath the cafes where people sip coffee today. Over the next 25 minutes, we'll uncover secrets that most tourists never see, visit places that have survived millennia, and understand why this tiny strip of land between the Mediterranean and the desert has captivated humanity for 10,000 years. Ready? Let's begin where every journey through this land must start. Jerusalem, the eternal city. Jerusalem. Just hearing the name probably conjures images in your mind. Ancient walls, golden domes, crowds of pilgrims. But here's what blows my mind. This city has been destroyed twice, besieged 23 times, attacked 52 times, and captured and recaptured 44 times. And yet, here it stands, still breathing, still praying, still very much alive. Think about that for a second. 44 times this city changed hands. The Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, Crusaders, Ottomans, British. Everyone wanted Jerusalem. And despite all that violence, all that bloodshed, it remains the spiritual center for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. 3 major world religions, over 3 billion believers, one city. The old city of Jerusalem is divided into 4 quarters: Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and Armenian. Each one is like stepping into a completely different world, and yet they're all connected by narrow stone streets, worn smooth by millions of footsteps over thousands of years. For Jewish people, Jerusalem is where King Solomon built the first temple, believed to be God's earthly dwelling. That temple was destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BCE. All that remains is a portion of the Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall. And this wall, this is where you truly feel the weight of history. Watch people pray here, pressing their foreheads against stones that have absorbed prayers for over 2,000 years. Many tuck handwritten notes into the cracks, messages to God squeezed between ancient blocks. It's impossible not to be moved, regardless of your beliefs. Walk a few hundred meters and you're in the Christian quarter, where the Church of the Holy Sepulchre marks the spots where Christians believe Jesus was crucified, buried, and resurrected. The church is dimly lit, filled with incense, icons, and pilgrims from every corner of the globe. Inside, you'll find the stone of anointing, where Jesus' body was prepared for burial. Pilgrims kiss it, touch it, place objects on it. Some weep openly. The emotion is palpable, raw. From here, you can walk the Via Dolorosa, the Way of Sorrows, the path Jesus is believed to have walked, carrying his cross to Golgotha. The stations are marked along the route, winding through modern shops and ancient archways. It's surreal to see kids playing soccer where biblical events unfolded. Then there's the Muslim Quarter, the largest and most vibrant of the four. The call to prayer echoes from minarets. Spice vendors shout prices. The smell of fresh bread, coffee, and incense fills the narrow alleys. Dominating the skyline is the Dome of the Rock, with its brilliant golden dome visible from almost anywhere in the city. This is where Muslims believe the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven on the night journey, the Isra and Miraj. The intricate blue and gold mosaics covering the structure are absolutely stunning, especially in the late afternoon light. And finally, there's the Armenian Quarter. Small, quiet, almost hidden. The Armenians have been here since the 4th century, maintaining their language, their rituals, their identity through empires and invasions. They don't seek attention, they just endure, a testament to quiet resilience. Jerusalem isn't just a city, it's a living, breathing archive of human faith, conflict, hope, and survival. Mount of Olives and Bethlehem. Just east of the Old City rises the Mount of Olives, sacred to all three Abrahamic religions. For Jews, this hillside is one of the world's oldest and largest Jewish cemeteries. Over 150,000 graves, all facing Jerusalem, all awaiting resurrection. The white tombstones cascade down the slope like frozen waves. For Christians, this is where Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane before his arrest. Ancient olive trees, some over 2,000 years old, still stand in the garden. Scientists have verified their age through DNA testing. You can literally touch trees that may have witnessed biblical events. The Mount of Olives also offers the best panoramic view of Jerusalem's old city. Sunrise here is magical. The golden light hits the Dome of the Rock, and for a moment, everything feels peaceful, timeless. Head south about 10 kilometers and you reach Bethlehem. According to Christian tradition, this is where Jesus was born in a humble stable over 2,000 years ago. Today, the Church of the Nativity marks the spot. Built in the 4th century by Emperor Constantine, it's one of the oldest continuously operating churches in the world. Below the main altar, a 14-pointed silver star marks the exact location where tradition says Jesus entered the world. During Christmas, pilgrims from across the globe gather here. The atmosphere is electric with devotion, joy, and wonder. But Bethlehem is also a city divided. A massive concrete separation barrier, over 8 meters high, snakes through the town. It's covered in graffiti, murals, political statements, and art. British street artist Banksy has left several famous works here. Flower thrower, girl frisking soldier, dove with bulletproof vest. These aren't just artworks, they're visual protests, reminders that even in times of conflict, people can respond with beauty, creativity, and hope. It's a powerful juxtaposition, a city celebrating the birth of the Prince of Peace, divided by walls and politics. It makes you think. The Ark of the Covenant, history's greatest mystery. Now let's talk about one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, the Ark of the Covenant. If you've seen Indiana Jones, you know the Ark. But here's what Hollywood doesn't tell you about how significant this object truly was. According to the Hebrew Bible, the Ark was a gold-covered wooden chest containing the 2 stone tablets inscribed with the 10 Commandments, given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai. It also held a jar of manna, the miraculous food that sustained the Israelites in the desert, and Aaron's staff, which famously budded to demonstrate divine selection. But the Ark wasn't just a storage box. To the ancient Israelites, it was the physical presence of God on earth. It was kept in the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber of Solomon's temple. Only the high priest could enter this room, and only once a year on Yom Kippur the Day of Atonement. Even then, he tied a rope around his ankle. Why? In case he died in God's presence, they could pull his body out without anyone else having to enter. That's how sacred the ark was. The ark was also carried into battle as a divine weapon. When the Israelites brought it to the front lines, they believed they had God's protection. And according to the Bible, walls crumbled, enemies fled, and victories were secured. So what happened to it? In 586 BCE, the Babylonians destroyed Solomon's temple. After that, silence. The ark vanishes from history. No mention in later texts, no archaeological evidence, nothing. Was it hidden before the Babylonians arrived? Destroyed in the siege? Taken to Babylon? Spirited away to Ethiopia, as some legends claim? Or buried beneath the Temple Mount, waiting to be rediscovered? To this day, the Ark of the Covenant remains one of archaeology's most tantalizing mysteries. And somewhere in this land, it might still exist, hidden for over 2,500 years. The Judean Desert, silence and survival. If Jerusalem and Bethlehem are about faith and civilization, then the Judean Desert is about something else entirely. Silence, solitude, survival. This harsh, rocky wilderness stretches from Jerusalem down to the Dead Sea. It's a landscape of sun-bleached stone, deep canyons, and an almost otherworldly stillness. But hidden in these cliffs are some of the most remarkable religious sites you'll ever see. Masada Monastery rises from the desert like something out of a fantasy novel. Built in the 5th century by the monk Sabbas, it clings to a cliff face in the middle of nowhere. For over 1,500 years, monks have lived here in complete seclusion, dedicating their lives to prayer and solitude. And here's the thing, women are not allowed to enter. They can only view the monastery from a nearby hill. That's how committed these monks are to their ascetic lifestyle. Standing outside Masada, listening to the wind howl through the canyon, you understand why ancient mystics came to places like this. The silence here is profound, almost overwhelming. It's the kind of silence that makes you hear your own thoughts more clearly. Not far away is Jericho, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. Archaeological evidence shows people have lived here for over 10,000 years. 10,000 years. While most of human history was still hunting and gathering, people in Jericho were building walls, developing agriculture, creating urban civilization. Why here? Water. Natural springs made this desert location an oasis, and that one resource allowed life to flourish for millennia. You might know Jericho from the biblical story of Joshua and the walls that came tumbling down. Whether you believe that story literally or metaphorically, standing among the ruins of ancient Jericho, you're standing where the foundations of civilization were laid. And here's something most people don't know. The Judean Desert is far from lifeless. Nubian ibex, with their magnificent curved horns, scale vertical cliffs with impossible grace. Barn owls hunt silently in the night, their specially designed wings making almost no sound. Egyptian vultures, one of the few animals that use tools, smash ostrich eggs with stones. Caracals, the desert's sleek wildcats, can leap 3 meters into the air to snatch birds mid-flight. And the peregrine falcon, Earth's fastest animal, dives at over 300 kilometers per hour. Even the chameleon here has adapted perfectly, changing colors not just for camouflage, but to regulate temperature. Eyes rotating independently, tongue longer than its body, shooting out to catch insects in a fraction of a second. Life in the desert doesn't give up. It adapts. It survives. The Dead Sea, Earth's lowest point. Now let's head to one of the most unique places on the entire planet, the Dead Sea. At 430 meters below sea level, this is the lowest point on Earth's surface. Standing on its shore, you're literally as low as you can get without digging. But here's the really wild part. It's not actually a sea. It's a hypersaline lake, landlocked between Israel, Palestine, and Jordan. And the salt concentration? Over 30%. That's 10 times saltier than ocean water. Nothing can live here. No fish, no plants, no algae. That's why it's called dead. But dead doesn't mean useless. Try to sink in the Dead Sea. You can't. The salt concentration makes the water so dense that your body just floats, effortlessly. It's one of the strangest sensations you'll ever experience. You can literally lie back, read a newspaper, and float like you're in a space station. This isn't a modern discovery either. Cleopatra knew about the Dead Sea's properties. She had cosmetics and medicines made from its mineral-rich mud. Roman nobility would travel here for spa treatments. Today, people come from around the world to cover themselves in the black Dead Sea mud, rich in magnesium, calcium, and potassium. It's said to help with joint pain, skin conditions, even arthritis. Whether it's scientifically proven or placebo effect, thousands swear by it. But there's a serious problem. The Dead Sea is dying. Since the 1960s, the Jordan River, the Dead Sea's main water source, has been heavily diverted by Israel, Jordan, and Syria for agriculture and drinking water. The sea is shrinking by about a meter every year. As the water recedes, sinkholes appear. Thousands of them, some big enough to swallow cars, buildings, entire sections of road. Beaches that existed 20 years ago are now desolate mudflats. Scientists estimate that if nothing changes, the Dead Sea could disappear within 50 years. One of Earth's most unique natural wonders, gone. Near the northwestern shore at Qumran, a young shepherd made a discovery in 1947 that changed our understanding of history. He threw a rock into a cave and heard something break. Inside were clay jars, and inside those jars, ancient scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls. Over 900 manuscripts, some dating back over 2,000 years. They include the oldest known copies of biblical texts, Genesis, Isaiah, Psalms, as well as previously unknown writings about laws, rituals, and apocalyptic prophecies. These scrolls give us a window into the world of Second Temple Judaism, the very era when Jesus lived. They've revolutionized our understanding of how the Bible was transmitted, how different Jewish sects interpreted Scripture, and what daily life was like 2,000 years ago. And they were found by accident, by a shepherd looking for a lost goat. Makes you wonder what else is still hidden out there, doesn't it? Masada, the Fortress of Freedom. Perched on a remote plateau overlooking the Dead Sea, stands one of the most powerful symbols in Jewish history, Masada. From a distance, it looks impossible. A flat-topped mountain rising 400 meters above the desert floor, with sheer cliffs on all sides. But climb to the top, and you'll find the ruins of King Herod's palace, built around 30 BCE as a luxurious desert retreat. The palace had everything: bathhouses, swimming pools, storerooms filled with food and wine, cisterns holding enough water to last for years. It was a fortress designed to be self-sustaining, nearly impossible to conquer. But Masada's real significance comes from what happened here in 73 CE. After the fall of Jerusalem during the First Jewish-Roman War, about 1,000 Jewish rebels fled here as their last refuge. They held out for months while 15,000 Roman soldiers besieged the fortress below. The Romans built a massive siege ramp. You can still see it today, slowly, methodically approaching the walls. When the rebels realized defeat was inevitable, they faced an impossible choice: surrender and become Roman slaves, or die free. According to the historian Flavius Josephus, they chose freedom. In a ritual suicide pact, they drew lots to determine who would kill whom, until only one man remained to set the fortress ablaze before taking his own life. When the Romans finally breached the walls the next morning, they found silence. No battle, no resistance. Just the bodies of people who chose death over subjugation. Now, historians debate the exact details of this story, but what's undeniable is what Masada represents. The unbreakable human desire for freedom and dignity, even in the face of certain death. Today, Masada is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Israeli soldiers take their oath of service here with the words, "Masada shall not fall again." For the Jewish people, it's a symbol of resilience, courage, and the refusal to surrender. You can hike up Masada via the Snake Path, a grueling climb, especially in the desert heat, or take the cable car. Either way, standing on that plateau, looking out over the endless desert and the Dead Sea shimmering in the distance, you feel the weight of history. This is where people chose to stand for something bigger than themselves. And that's a powerful feeling. Makhtesh Ramon, Mars on Earth. Now we're heading deep into the Negev desert for something completely different. Something that looks more like another planet than Earth. This is Makhtesh Ramon. And no, it's not a meteor crater. It's not volcanic. It's something even more rare. It's an erosion crater, one of only a handful in the entire world. And it's massive. 40 kilometers long, 10 kilometers wide, and up to 500 meters deep. Picture this: layers of rock in deep reds, burnt oranges, golden yellows, and charcoal blacks. Twisted formations that look sculpted by an alien hand. Cliffs that drop away into vast emptiness. And silence. Complete, overwhelming silence. Walking through Makhtesh Ramon feels like walking on Mars. In fact, Israeli astronaut Ilan Ramon took sand from here into space because it reminded him of other worlds. So how did this form? Over millions of years, water and wind eroded the center of a mountain range, carving away layer after layer of rock. Each colored layer represents a different geological period: ancient seas, volcanic activity, tectonic shifts, all visible in cross-section, like Earth's history laid bare. For geologists, this is paradise. You can literally see 200 million years of Earth's history in the rock walls. But you don't need to be a geologist to appreciate this place. At sunrise and sunset, the colors intensify. Shadows stretch across the crater floor. The temperature drops, and you feel small, humbled, reminded that nature operates on timescales we can barely comprehend. At night, Makhtesh Ramon becomes one of the best stargazing spots in the Middle East. No cities, no light pollution, just you and the Milky Way stretched across the sky above a crater millions of years in the making. This is the kind of place that makes you think about time, about scale, about how insignificant our individual lives are, and yet how precious. About how nature, with enough time, can create wonders that rival anything humans have ever built. If you ever visit Israel, don't skip the Negev. This desert holds secrets most tourists never discover. Tel Aviv, the modern miracle. Now for something completely different. Let's head west to the Mediterranean coast, to a city that didn't even exist 115 years ago. Tel Aviv. While most of this video has focused on ancient history, Tel Aviv is about the present and the future. It's a city that rose from sand dunes in 1909 and became one of the most dynamic, innovative cities in the world. Walk through Tel Aviv and you'll see why it's called the city that never stops. Beaches packed with locals and tourists. Outdoor cafes buzzing with conversation in a dozen languages. Street art covering buildings. Tech startups in modern glass towers. Ancient Jaffa port, the one connection to the distant past, now transformed into an artist quarter with galleries and restaurants. Tel Aviv is also known as the world's most LGBT-friendly city outside of San Francisco. It hosts one of the largest pride parades in the world, with hundreds of thousands attending. In a region often conservative on social issues, Tel Aviv stands out as remarkably progressive and accepting. The city also has incredible food. Israeli cuisine blends Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, North African, and European influences. Hummus, falafel, shakshuka, ceviche, fresh salads, grilled meats, incredible pastries. The sheer variety is stunning, and the beach culture is real. Locals jog along the waterfront, play matkot, Israeli paddleball, and swim year-round. At sunset, people gather to watch the sun drop into the Mediterranean while sipping wine or cold beer. Tel Aviv represents modern Israel, entrepreneurial, creative, diverse, forward-looking. It's a reminder that this land isn't just about ancient history and religious sites. It's also about a vibrant, living culture pushing into the future. The contrast between Old City Jerusalem and modern Tel Aviv is stark. And that contrast is part of what makes this region so fascinating. Haifa, Acre, and the north. Let's head north along the coast to Haifa, Israel's third largest city, built on the slopes of Mount Carmel. Haifa is known as a model of coexistence. Jews, Muslims, Christians, and Baha'is live here side by side, more peacefully than perhaps anywhere else in the region. The city's symbol is the stunning Baha'i Gardens, cascading down the mountainside in perfect geometric terraces with views over the Mediterranean. These gardens are one of the most beautiful religious sites you'll ever see. Immaculately maintained, completely free to visit, and open to people of all faiths. Further north is Acre, Akko, a coastal city with 4,000 years of history. Crusaders made it their capital after losing Jerusalem. Ottoman rulers fortified it. British prisoners were held here. Today, you can explore underground Crusader halls, walk the ramparts overlooking the sea, wander through a bustling Arab market, and eat some of the best seafood in Israel at the Old Port. Acre feels timeless. Modern life happens on top of Crusader ruins, which sit atop Roman ruins, which sit atop Phoenician ruins. It's layers upon layers of history, all visible if you know where to look. And if you head inland from here, you reach the Galilee region. Rolling hills, green valleys, ancient synagogues, and the Sea of Galilee, actually a freshwater lake, where Jesus is said to have walked on water, calmed storms, and performed miracles. The town of Nazareth, where Jesus grew up, is now Israel's largest Arab city, with a significant Christian population. The Basilica of the Annunciation marks the spot where tradition says the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary. The north of Israel feels different from the rest of the country. Greener, quieter, less intense. It's a place to slow down, taste local wine. Yes, Israeli wine is excellent. Hike through nature reserves and visit ancient sites without the crowds of Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. The complexity beyond the headlines. We need to talk about the elephant in the room, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Throughout this video, we focused on history, culture, landscapes, and experiences. But it's impossible to visit this region without confronting the political realities. This is a land where two peoples claim the same territory, where security walls divide communities, where checkpoints control movement, where the past and the present collide in painful, complicated ways. We're not here to solve the conflict. We're not qualified to tell you who's right or who's wrong. Those are questions that scholars, politicians, and the people who live here struggle with every day. What we can tell you is that traveling here changes you. You meet Israelis and Palestinians, Jews and Muslims and Christians, who all just want to live in peace, who want their kids to grow up safely, who are tired of the conflict but don't see easy answers. You see memorials to victims of violence on both sides. You hear stories of loss, hope, fear, and resilience. You realize that real people, not political abstractions, are living through this every day. If you visit Israel and Palestine, approach it with an open mind and a humble heart. Listen to different perspectives. Don't reduce complex realities to simple narratives. And remember that behind every political opinion is a human being with their own story, their own pain, their own dreams. This land deserves more than slogans and taking sides from a distance. It deserves understanding, empathy, and a genuine effort to see the humanity in everyone. Practical tips for travelers. So if you're thinking about visiting Israel and Palestine, here are some practical tips. Safety. Despite what you see in the news, millions of tourists visit every year safely. Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Haifa, these are generally safe cities. Use common sense, stay informed about current events, and avoid demonstrations or tense areas. Timing. The best times to visit are spring, March to May, and fall, September to November. Summers are scorching, especially in the desert and Dead Sea areas. Winters are mild, but can be rainy. What to wear? Dress modestly when visiting religious sites. Cover shoulders and knees. Some sites provide wraps if you forget. In Tel Aviv, dress however you want. It's a very liberal city. Getting around. Public transportation is good. Buses connect major cities. Trains run along the coast. But renting a car gives you more flexibility, especially for places like Masada or Makhtesh Ramon. Money. Israel uses the shekel. It's not cheap. Tel Aviv is one of the world's most expensive cities. But budget options exist. Street food is affordable and delicious. Respect. This land is sacred to billions. Approach it with respect. Don't climb on ruins, deface sites, or behave inappropriately at holy places. A little respect goes a long way. And finally, keep an open mind. This isn't a simple place. It will challenge your assumptions, complicate your views, and leave you with more questions than answers. And that's okay. That's what great travel does. Why this place matters. So we've journeyed from the ancient stones of Jerusalem to the futuristic beaches of Tel Aviv. From floating in the Dead Sea to standing atop Masada, from walking 10,000-year-old streets in Jericho to stargazing above a crater millions of years old. This land, no bigger than New Jersey, contains multitudes. It holds the birthplace of 3 world religions, the oldest continuously inhabited cities on Earth, natural wonders found nowhere else, and modern innovations that impact the entire world. But more than anything, this land holds stories. Stories of faith and doubt, war and peace, destruction and rebirth, hatred and love. Stories that are still being written every single day. Whether you're religious or secular, whether you care about politics or history or nature or food or adventure, this place has something that will move you, challenge you, inspire you. It's called the Holy Land for a reason. Not just because prophets walked here or miracles happened here, but because something about this place touches the deepest parts of what it means to be human. Our search for meaning, our capacity for both cruelty and compassion, our ability to create beauty even amid chaos, our refusal to give up hope even when hope seems impossible. That's what Israel and Palestine still hide beneath the surface. Not just ancient artifacts or hidden caves, but truths about humanity itself. If this video gave you a new perspective on the Holy Land, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're exploring the world's most fascinating destinations, going beyond the tourist traps to uncover real stories and hidden wonders. Drop a comment below. Have you visited Israel or Palestine? What surprised you most? Or if you haven't been, what part of this journey intrigued you the most? And if you want to keep exploring with us, check out our video on another place where ancient history meets modern life in unexpected ways. Thanks for watching, safe travels, and remember, the world is far more beautiful, far more complicated, and far more worth exploring than any headline can capture. Until next time.